Good morning, everybody. We are going to talk about the Filipino influences, traits, and characteristics. So the Philippines is a meeting point of cultures from all over Asia and the Pacific because it has been a crossroads between East and West, and the merging of cultures reflects the country's culture and its people. It comes from various ethno-linguistic groups that are native to the islands or migrants from various Asia-Pacific regions. Filipinos are the people who are naturally born to or recognized with the Philippine country. So, ibig sabihin, naging buo yung kultura natin dahil sa history natin, 'di ba? Aside sa history ng pagsakop ng mga Espanyol dito sa Pilipinas, pagsakop ng mga Hapon, ng mga Amerikano, at kung sino pa, aside from all of them, the Philippines has been a merging point of various countries when it comes to bartering. Diba? Noon, hindi uso yung bili-bili. Noon na bibilhin mo yung produkto niya gamit yung pera. No, ang method noon is yung barter. Yung barter, yung pag-exchange ng mga gamit, ng mga valuable things. For example, our spices. Diba? Our spices, tapos yung Chinese is very much known to its mga furnitures. For example, like that. So, mag-barter sila. Diba? Ato spices ilaha furnitures. So, mag-barter. When you say barter, magbayloanay sila. Mag-deal sila. Na sila kasabutan na kini ang ato ang deal karon, mani ang ato ang i-barter. Diba? Ako ninihatag sa ilo kung amo ang spices in exchange with these furnitures. Malagina na ba? But not just the Chinese or the China have been conducting transactions or barters in the Philippines. So, ang dami pa. Lalo na yung mga travelers na napapadpad dito sa atin, yung mga when you see travelers, yung mga nag-explore sa karagatan. You know, they wanted to explore the ocean, the sea. Kung ano yung matatagpuan nila sa karagatan, ano yung madidiscover nila. So, kung ano yung mga cultures nila, ano yung kultura nila doon sa kanilang bansa na dadala nila dito. Tapos, as time goes by, dahil nagiging rampant sila dito sa ating bansa, as time goes by, nagiging parte na din sila sa ating kaugalian. No? Mag-unti-unti na-adapt natin ang kultura din nila. For example, the Spanish. A lot of our language, Bisaya or Tagalog, a lot of our words in Bisaya and Tagalog are come from Spanish language. No? For example, cubiertos, that is Spanish for utensils. Ang sa Bisaya naman, ang abre, sarado, mga inana, simple na mga words. It comes from Spanish words. So, China, the United States, and Spain mainly influenced the modern Filipino identity. So, just like what I said earlier, diba? Yung China, yung America, at yung Spain, sila yung mga pangunahing nag-i-influence sa ating kultura, sa ating tradition. and somehow sa ating paniniwala. Though Filipinos are racially similar to Malays, but in terms of culture, they are more like the Spaniards. Thus, it could be claimed that Filipinos are the most hot-blooded and brave citizens in the tropical Asian cultures. Like other countries, the Philippines has its opposing values and labels. It is believed that the Filipinos that the country have the best values in the world. Though it has experienced colonization by several countries, but the core values it has gained from the Filipino ancestors remain intact and are still honored today, like the bayanihan or spirit of kinship and camaraderie implanted by Malay ancestors and close family ties inherited by the Chinese ascendant. So itong close family ties, itong family-centered tayo, di ba? Makapamilya tayo. Na-inherit lang natin ito, nakuha lang natin ito sa mga Chinese ascendants. Yung pagpunta nila dito sa ating bansa, pag-colonize nila sa atin dito, nakuha natin yan sa kanila. Aside from that, the bayanihan. The bayanihan is our trademark Filipinos na even sa dami ng mga bansang nag-colonize sa atin, hindi pa rin nawala yung original tradition and culture natin as Filipino. So, merong nadadagdag na mga cultures, pero marami pa rin nanatili at pinapractice natin na kultura talaga ng mga Pilipino. Yes, bago lang ko nag-on. Yes, April lang. Bago lang ko nag-move slide. Kini, makita na ninyo.
Yes, ma'am. Na ma'am.
Okay, bago lang ko nag-move slide actually. Okay, now let's move to the next topic, the most well-known traits and attitudes of the Filipino. So ano ba yung mas kilala tayo na kaugalian or attitude natin as being Filipino? So let's go first with the positive traits. First, we have the hospitality. So when you say hospitality, it is a trait displayed by every Filipino characterized by heartwarming generosity and friendliness exhibited to foreigners and locals alike. Filipinos are well known for being hospitable. This is one of the most popular qualities of Filipinos. Most foreigners who have gone to the Philippines fell in love with the warm hospitality they have experienced while staying in the country. This is a kind of value system which has existed in the country thousands of years ago. Good thing is that the hospitality of the Filipinos is not only shown to the foreigners, but to its fellow Filipino as well. So when you say hospitality, for example, when a person visits a friend's house, the host greets him or her with a warm welcome. The host will immediately let the visitor sit down and will prepare a meal or a snack plus drinks for the visitor. The host will insist that the friend not leave the house with an empty stomach. A host will always make sure you had a great time visiting them. Diba? Kaya pag may bisita sa inyo, ha? Masugoon dahil ni mga palit itong soft drink, palit itong juice, palit itong maruya, na saging. Ba? Offeran din ninyo sila og food. Aside from that, mag-insist pa ka nga, hindi na maglakaw diri sa akong paniud to. Diba? That is one way of being hospitable. Aside from that, people offer their guest room to visitors if they're going to spend the night. But that is also hospitality. Sometimes, lalo lang na sa mga probinsya, makikita mo lang yung mga bago at magagandang pillowcase and kumot kapag merong bisita. Diba? Kasi yan yung ino-offer natin sa bisita natin. Sometimes naman, ino-offer pa natin yung sariling kwarto natin para sila yung matulog doon at tayo ang matulog sa lapag or sa sala. Ganon tayo ka-hospitable. Aside from that, we have respect. And this is often observed not just by younger people, but also by people of all ages. In the Philippines, respect for one's elder is a tradition, or just like the using po and opo. Po and opo, these words are spoken by the Filipinos when talking to elders. And in order to show respect to persons in authority, these Filipinos words means yes. Yes when answering or talking to the elders. Now, aside from ginagamit natin yung po at opo sa mga elders, napapansin niyo naman na ginagamit din natin siya when talking to the person with authority. Diba? Sa mga policemen, sa teachers natin, sa kahit sinong tao na may profesyon, kapag kaharap natin sila, gumagamit tayo ng po at opo. Even sa superiors natin. Diba? Even sa mga superiors natin, sa trabaho natin. Pagmamano. Another way of showing respect to the elders when greeting them. This is done by putting their elders' hands in their foreheads. Yung kanang mag-bless ta ba? Mag-amin ta sa tuang elders. And Filipinos show respect at work by making a bow to their employers. No? Nakuha natin ito sa Hapon or sa Chinese. No? Yung magbabaw tayo sa mga employers natin. The next, strong family ties and religions. Filipino value their families so much that they tend to keep families intact through the generations. Families go to church and pray together because their religion is important and creates a strong bond, marking God as the center of their lives. Filipino believe in only one God, and majority of the population are Catholics. It is a Filipino system of the Filipinos to pray before eating, going to bed, before the start of a meeting, conferences, programs, gathering, and etc. Now, on weekends, most Filipino families make sure to have quality time together by watching television or eating a family meal, watch movies, or going to beach resorts. So, napapractice naman natin yan, di ba? Most especially kapag Sunday. Sunday is family day. So, yung wala pang COVID, no, mas maraming tao sa mga malls, sa mga parks, sa mga beaches tuwing Sunday because that is kino-consider natin yung Sunday as family day. Diba? Nilalaan natin yung araw na yun para sa pamilya natin. Generosity and helpfulness. Aside from being hospitable, Filipinos are also well known for being generous. They share what they have to the people around them when they only have little. This could only felt during birthdays, weddings, or fiestas, or party. When visitors came to celebrate great tasting special food, special foods are specially prepared for everyone. It is shared by friends, families, or even strangers. When you will be in trouble, Filipinos cannot refuse to help you. They are always willing to assist you or lend a hand. So ito din yung ito yun din yung mga positive trait ng mga Pilipino. Pagiging generous, mapagbigay, and pagiging matulungin. Yung helpful. Strong work ethics. Another good thing most Filipino have is being hardworking people. They are always willing to work almost the whole day to provide the needs of their families. Filipino farmers, though earning so little, but they work harder with not much compensation. Aside from their regular work, Filipinos always find creative ways to look for other sources of income, like creating a small business from their home where they sell foods and other items for the convenience of their neighborhoods. Hindi ka na mamaligya ta. Magtukotag mga sari-sari store sa ating mga bahay. So in order for us to give the needs or to provide the needs of our families, na hindi lang tayo nagre-rely sa trabaho natin or sa isang trabaho. And lastly, loving and caring. Because of their generosity, hospitality, and religiosity, Filipinos are found to be the sweetest and most loving Filipino in the world. It is expressed by both foreigners and Filipino women that most Filipino men are so sweet and romantic when it comes to love. They will send their beloved flowers, bring her to a very romantic place, text her sweet quotes, and tell often how special she is to them. The Filipino women are also romantic and very caring, which often makes some foreigners want to marry them. Women tend to prepare dinner before their husband comes home. They love and value the relationship, always staying faithful to their husbands. They love deeply and sincerely. So, ito yung the best na traits nating mga Pilipino. Now that we are done with the positive traits, punta naman tayo sa negative traits ng mga Pilipino. Of course, hindi naman natin pwede na sabihin na wala tayong negative traits. Meron tayong negative traits. Actually, marami siya. First is the fatalism. When you say fatalism, yung lagi nating sinasabi na bahala na or come what may attitude. Sinasabi natin, bahala na si Batman, bahala ng Ginoo, bahala na. Kasi mahitabuan eh. Diba? Mauna, fatalism. Now, when Filipinos are facing difficulties and shortcomings, they have this attitude of leaving it up to God to sort things out. So, an attitude of what goes round comes around. Filipinos have a tendency to surrender the future to luck. They have that strong confidence that everything will work out in His interest without doing anything. Filipinos often accept bad news or circumstances without trying to stop or change them. This can sometimes be helpful in adversity, but it can also keep us from finding ways out of situations. Also, constantly expecting the worst can get pretty depressing. Diba? Yung lagi tayong nag-iisip ng worst scenario, negative thinkers. Yung kapag napansin natin na hindi na natin nakokontrol yung situation, sasabihin na naman natin na bahala na, or bahala ng Ginoo ani. Diba? And we tend to do nothing about it. Maghulat lang ta sa unsa may mahitabo right after. So that is what we call fatalism. Now, ang manyana habit naman, this is what we call procrastination. Now, what is the manyana habit or procrastination? True-blooded Filipinos have the attitude of causing delays in accomplishing things and making transactions. When not interested or not in the mood, they wait or reserve until tomorrow or the next day to finish what they are doing or meeting their transactions. However, there are some Filipinos nowadays who take their time in doing things or in making decisions promptly. There are some who are habitually late or not showing up at all. There are few Filipinos who are punctual for social meetings. In fact, it is not expected of them to arrive exactly on time, especially at a party. The bahala na attitude is the outcome of the mañana habit. When the tasks are left undone, this is usually shown or even expressed by people who do not care much of what lies ahead and just leave everything in fate. Unya na habit ka na masikag, unya na, unya-unyaon mo ang trabaho. Just like for example, when I give you assignments that will be due on, let's say in a week, no? So alam mo naman na, ang layo pa, layo pa kayong deadline, unya na lang abuhaton. Tapos tadabot, unya na lang to napakutulo ka adlaw. Sakwan na, sa Thursday na lang ito na ako buhaton, kay Friday bitang deadline. Until na malimtan na lang nimo ang imong project. Wala na, mapasok dahil si cramming. Diba? 1 hour later, ay na magbuhat sa project or sa assignment. That is the mañana habit or procrastination. Now, fatalism naman, yung lagi tayong nagsasabing bahala na, is the result of mañana habit. Diba? Yun. Grab mentality. This is an attitude of some Filipinos where they tend to push each other down to clear the way for their own gain. Filipino people with this kind of mentality or attitude try their best to ruin each other, either by making issues against the other for him to turn out bad to the public or to the company or organization, so that people will gradually put distance and lose their confidence and trust that eventually result to their replacement. Ano yung best example dito? Best example nito is sa politics. Sa politics ngayon, diba? Pinaka-best is, nung nalaman nila na tatakbo si BBM sa pagka-presidente, ang dami nilang ginawang speculations and issues in order for them na pasira nila yung reputation at pangalan ni BBM. Right? Ang dami nilang ginawa. Meron pa sila mga petition para i-withdraw daw yung candidacy ni BBM. So yung method na yun, that is what we call crab mentality. Sinisira nila yung character ng isang tao in order for them na makuha nila yung gusto nila, which is yung candidacy, yung presidency, rather. Diba? Ang tawag sa ginagawa nila is, aside from crab mentality, is yung character assassination. Sisirain nila yung pangalan, yung reputation mo as a politician in order for them to replace you. Yan yun. Yan yung crab mentality. Aside from that, yung dito sa atin, kapag nakita natin na parang may progress sa buhay ni Maria, sabihin na naman natin, kung ano mo yung trabaho. Mamo gini yung trabaho yun mo na nga, si money na lang kayo ba? Or for example, kalit lang nga, bigla na lang na may bagong sasakyan si Pedro. Diba? Isipan dahil natong dautan. Nagkuan siguro na siya ba? Gadil siguro na siya mga ang sabakay. Gabi, si money kayo ka-afford din siya sakyanan. Diba? Without knowing the truth. No? Without knowing the truth. Ang nagsasalita sa atin is not just our mind, it is our insecurity. Insecure tayo kasi nakuha nila yung pangarap natin, pangarap natin magkasasakyan, but because of our manya na habit and fatalism, hindi naman natin maabot-abot. Diba? Tapos hindi natin alam na nagpupursige para si Pedro o si Maria, kaya may bagos kang bahay o may bagos kang sasakyan. Tapos magugulat lang tayo na nandyan na yung sasakyan. Tapos iisipan na lang natin ng masama. So, just to console our insecurities. Hypocrisy. This is a trait of the Filipino where criticism to others' failure to live with the moral standards of the society are inevitable. In the Philippines, morality is highly valued. Most of us try to live up to the standards set by the traditional society. However, as no one is perfect, many of us not actually able to sustain those standards. Just like, for example, diba? Si Maria and si Petra, religious na mga babae. Palagi sila nasa simbahan. Nakikita ninyo sila sa simbahan halos araw-araw. Tapos one day, nagkasabay kayo sa jeep. Tapos nakita mo na si Petra at si Maria, no? Sinisiraan nila yung kapitbahay ninyo. No, grabe ang panlibak ba? Tapos upon passing by at church, no? Sabay din sila nangoros. No? Nangoros din sila. Tapos while nagapangoros, uy, kabalo ka, katuloy si grabe lig kaayo, anana. Diba? Nangalibak gihapon. That is what we call hypocrisy. No, you are practicing your religious. You are claiming that you are religious enough, but but your action says otherwise. Kabaliktaran naman yung makikita sa action mo. Yun yung sinasabi nila na hindi lahat ng nakikita sa simbahan ay mga mabubuting tao. Diba? Yun yung sinasabi ng iba. Ningas Kogon. What is Ningas Kogon? Most Filipinos are very good at the start when doing something. Nevertheless, after a few hours or days, that excitement to do or to accomplish something is lost and become too lazy to finish what we have started. Ningas Kogon. Ningas Kogon is kind of damo siya na kapag sinisilaban mo, no, in a seconds, no, in a very short span of time, maugdaw na natanan. Pahurot na nagkasunod tanan. That is the Ningas Kogon. Now, just like that Ningas Kogon, we are two Filipinos. Inana po daw ta. Diba? Yan na yung excitement natin sa bagong bagay, sa new things, sa bagong trabaho is just like for a short time lang. For a short span of time lang. Na kapag just like for example, nakita mo na kusog kaayo ang online selling karon. Kung nag-try ka, kung nakita ka. So, just like any other businesses naman yung mga panahon na muhina, No? Now, as few weeks passes or few months passes, hina naman, nawala na mo excitement. Nawala na po imuhang nawala na imuhang courage na magpadayon, diba? Kaya naa ka sa fatalism na nakasama niya na habit. Magkapoy na kaog I mean dili kay kapoy gitamad na kasi nakaunya-unya na ako mag-post ani unya na ako magkuan ana. Until nga naundang ni mo yung business. Sayang ka imong capital. That is what we call nindas kogo. Dali lang kayo mawala ang imong excitement. Dali lang kayo ka magsawa, kumbaga. Tardiness. Now, we are very known for being late. Sa mga meeting, uy, makita ta 8 a.m. Muabot og 9. Sahay 10. Sahay 11 pa. No, maiyap lang din ang niabot sa saktong oras. On the way na ko dira. On the way pa sa CR para maligo di ay. Now, we are very, very popular or very, very well known for being late. Ba? So we are going to talk about the rest of the negative traits of Filipinos next meeting.